Okay, so I have optimized my frame range. I'm adding 20 frames previous to the actual length of what would be a shot. So the shot is usually starting 1001 or more, but I'm starting on 980 just to get 20 frames to read velocities and all that. I'm sorry about my animation. I'm not animator. I'm pretty sure when in production, when you receive your animation, it's going to be amazing. Just play with some kind of like adjustment to make your life easier. For example, animators will have a tendency to keep the tires very, like flush to the surface of the desert. You don't want that. You want to push the car in so you can extract the volumes inside the dunes. Another thing is you want to clean. You don't wanna keep all these kilometers or huge geometry of desert. You wanna extract the areas where the things the action is happening. So I will first procedurally start to extract that areas that I will use with a sense of efficiency. We want to do this procedurally because eventually you want to share the setup. We're going to create dependencies in TopNet, which is the part of the newer versions of Houdini, and you want to create fetchings like ROP fetch to automate the process of all this extraction and tedious waiting time. So for the retiming of my frame range, I just use a time blend and time shift. Why the time blend? If you go to the original setup that I have here, I was having subframe data. But when I catch this, I maybe there are a way to do it, but it's actually more complicated than just append a time blend and the time shift after with the integer frames on check. I'm using $FF instead of the default F. So if you go to the global animation options and uncheck the integer frame values, you will see that we have motion on the subframe value. So 987 frames, 0.7, and then you go to 0.9, 0.8. You can just scroll on your timeline and you have to, you're noticing that we have in between frames animation. That's important because usually the sub-steps in simulations are higher than 1, and 1 means frame 1, frame 2, or frame 1001, 1002. But when you start adding sub-steps, Houdini will start considering the subframe data. So it's important to have that data, in motion with different values, and that will help us to get better results. So now, let's go ahead and start our effect setup. I'm going to create a geo node, go inside, and have 2 object merge. One here, one here. This could be object merge desert or dunes. And this could be the car. Object merge car. Now, what I want to do is use, just because it's my way to work. You can decide, you can use different attributes. For me, blue and red are the code I use to visualize things. So, sorry. I'm going to go to the desert. Or what I do usually is just hit this link here, the pin, and go to wherever I created my sources. So I'll put here of the desert. This is heavy, so I'm sorry about the waiting, and just drag it here. Drag it here. Go to your this is heavy, that's why you need to clean. You need to filter, you need to clean the areas that you actually need in order to efficiently focus on your effects. So same with this. Let me do something here, maybe this will help. Pin it, go to the car. First thing we're gonna get is the tires. So that might be, no, let's just do the whole thing. Okay, you have your car. Just bring this back. And let's use a red for this. I'm going to, since I want this to be procedural, let me delete some attributes, because this is, not necessarily to have, for example, materials. The rest is fine. And then we're going to use a subsolver. And we will connect the desert on the first input and the car on the second one. Then we're going to use a attribute transfer node to isolate a big area of the contact area based on the distance. It's actually input 2, right? It's heavy. It's heavy, but we have it here. So we only need the CD, the color, and we're going to use something like 6 here. This is a good area to start. And let's just catch this. And this is the kind of things that you want to fetch. Eventually the whole network can have different file caches, and you can automate this part all the way to the final simulations and everything, even rendering. We might not get the whole thing, but let's see how far we can get. So for now, it is like first iteration area. And let's, I like to use explicit, but you're free to do what works better for you. And I do this because this will create a geo directory to catch the geo that has the same name of what I'm catching, and then inside is going to be the catch, the actual geometry with the same name, but with every frame. So my catch is done. I'm going to start blasting and do another iteration with tighter geometry that I'm actually going to use to convert that into grains, use it for grain source. So last first iter, anything that is this will start to be lighter. So in the end of your shot, you can bring back all those geometry I will also use a time shift just to keep the last frame, right? Because we want the whole trajectory of the car. You can simply use SN. RFN to keep the last frame. You middle click, it evaluates the last frame. So this is what we have now. Now we want to do another iteration of this. Make it way tighter, so let's go ahead and do that. Again, this is going to be blue, so let me just copy paste this here. Copy paste let me just make this faster to avoid any cooking. I'm going to use Shift S because I like the way that Houdini organized things is cleaner. And I'm going to go inside this, bring back. You see now it's so fast, way faster than the original desert. Let's compare this with the car. It could be enough. I think something like this could work. Maybe even smaller. Maybe just instead of 0.75, and catch this again. So copy paste this and call it second iteration. Let's catch this now. Okay, this is done. You notice that we have two patches because there is a jump in the car. We're going to focus on the first one. So to do that, let's quickly do the same as we did before. Let's keep only the last frame. Blast this. Points. We can use a connectivity because we want this to be procedural. Use class for primitive. We're going to end up with two primitives. So you can now blast. You can blast class equals 0. We can do this. I'm going to use a null to out this. This is like the end of this part of the network. I moved by mistake. I moved the camera. So we want something like this, maybe. I'm gonna tweak this. I think something like that might work. Let's jump to the next chapter.